Looks like we're making history here this morning. I understand that this is the first time this has ever happened in DOD. This partnership came out of a 2001 study that identified sections of the city located more than 4 minutes travel time from a fire station.
We went to City Council and said, hey, the Navy's willing to give us the building. We'll need an additional 15 firefighters added to the staff of the Virginia Beach Fire Department. And they voted 11-0 to make that happen.
And even though in the past we would respond to via mutual aid to the north end, that meant that there was not coverage on the base. We knew it was the right decision, both for the Navy, because now we have this extra capacity here to be able to fight our fires and save the folks that save lives on the base, but also for the city. The natural synergy that's going to happen between the two organizations just by being co-located.
We're now between 4 to 6 miles closer to over 600 different residents in the city, the whole north end. So this has cut our response time from as much as 12 minutes in the summer to 6.
That's really what we're gaining is time, and in our business, time is life. So that's really the big benefit.
At the end of the day, it's about saving lives. You know, we have amazing firefighters on our federal side as well as in our city. And I tell you, when you're laying there, you know, on the concrete or the floor, and you're having a big issue that might be your life or death, a few minutes matter.
We're kicking off the Pulse Point program today. And what Pulse Point does, it allows everyday citizens to be responders to sudden cardiac arrest emergencies.
Pulse Point is a program that alerts the citizens of the city of Virginia Beach when they're in close vicinity to someone who's suffering from a sudden cardiac arrest. Folks who know CPR and are willing to offer their services to people who need CPR, they can download the app. It runs in the background on their phone. It can be an iPhone or an Android phone. Then when the 911 center dispatches a cardiac arrest, it'll trigger their phone if they're within 2,500 feet. Part of that activation is it shows them where all the AEDs are within the immediate vicinity. So if they have time, they can grab an AED and then go over and offer CPR.
With Pulse Point, what happens is an alert will go out nearby when a patient is detected to have an issue. And that person has the ability to respond even quicker than an ambulance might get there or the normal responders would get there, helping that patient out, hopefully bringing him from a person that has died to doing what we call a conversion and bringing him back to life.
With a cardiac arrest, seconds do count. And while we have a comprehensive network of police, fire, and EMS all responding to an emergency, the seconds we can save and the lives we can save with immediate CPR and use of an AED will make a huge difference.
The training that they will receive through the Pulse Point program gives everybody who wants to participate an opportunity not only to be good citizens, but to save somebody's life.
The ultimate goal is to improve the survival of victims of sudden cardiac arrest. When their heart stops suddenly in a public place, that they're going to get immediate attention, not having to wait until professional first responders come to help them.
First and foremost, you have to understand a body camera is not the panacea to everything in policing. It is not like the NFL where you have 32 cameras at the same time and you could see if somebody's finger went out of bounds. That's not what a body-worn camera does.
This will have a huge impact in my office. In fact, this will change forever how we function as an office, because keep in mind there's more to the body camera program than just putting a camera on an officer and putting them on the street. The one agency that's responsible for viewing all the video that these officers shoot related to criminal cases is the Commonwealth's Attorney's Office. We're required to watch every second of the video in preparation of our cases. So we estimate that the Virginia Beach Police Department is going to be sending us 14,000 to 15,000 hours of video a year. So that is a huge impact in my office. It is going to take my attorneys out of court and have them sitting behind their desk watching video on a daily basis. So Through cooperation with the city management and city council, they were good enough to give us the staff that we needed to deal with the impact of this added workload. Keep in mind that these videos the video that we get in will be evidence in a criminal matter. So if someone were to come to court, then they'd be able to see the evidence as it's played in court and introduced in court. Anything that's introduced is open to the public. But any evidence that is not introduced in court is a part of a criminal matter and not releasable to the public.
Well, the team that we put together did their due diligence, not only looking regionally, statewide, but across the nation at the technological advancements, at the policies and procedures for the officers, and in getting community engagement and community involvement in attempting to write the right policy for this program. It's a huge undertaking for a department of our size. It is an extremely expensive undertaking for a department of our size. And we wanted to make sure that we attempted to solve every problem before it was even introduced. That's why we took our time and our due diligence.
Well, IT has been very involved from the very beginning of this project. Now, one of the biggest things that we can say is building infrastructure. We talked about the actual project itself and capturing information and data and storage. But to get that, we need infrastructure with fiber. So for the last 4 years, the city has been building a fiber network that surrounds the city that help all this backhaul stuff for the storage can be done. So that's why we have been very involved. We've also beefed up our team for public safety to make sure that we handle all this integration between the CAD system, between the cameras, the ocean front. So IT has been very involved from the get-go. We're actually using the city's, the vendor's asset to say, how can we do things better? So by having a cloud-first strategy, it takes us out of the way of developing stuff ourselves and going to the cloud. So that has helped us, and that's our strategy going forward, is to make sure that we leverage all the applications that we have and reduce our footprint so that we don't have 1,500 different applications running the city.
We are the community, and the community are the police. So we work hand in hand in the co-production of public safety. What we want our community to do is feel safe and secure. We want them to feel open with the police officers, we want them to feel open with police administration, and we want our citizens to know that they truly are part and parcel of what we do every day. By going to the body camera technology, we will be able to show our community that we are totally transparent.
In front of you have two pieces of equipment. One is going to be the magnetic connector that is going to actually hold the body camera in place on your uniform. The next thing is the actual body camera itself.
Today we are going to begin introducing the Axon 2 body cameras to our agency. These are the cameras that we want officers to wear during their normal shift so that they can record encounters between police and citizens. This is just another step in the evolution of technology as we bring it into police work. So in the past, we've had cameras at the ocean front, we've had cameras in the dashboard of our cars, red light cameras, and license plate readers. Body cameras are a national trend. We felt it was time for us to research and purchase the cameras so that we can bring accountability to the table. It shows that we are building trust in areas that maybe we could do a better job of building trust. And it's a way to document encounters so that if we do have a complaint, a concern, a use of force, we can go back and watch an unbiased account of the encounter. The other area cities do have body cameras and have implemented the technology. But by waiting, it's allowed us to do more research, make better informed decisions, learn from other agencies' success, and capitalize on any improvement. We recognize that 450 cameras is a huge undertaking at one time. So we want to do a crawl, walk, run mentality where we're going to introduce 110 cameras over 4 phases. So while the cameras will be issued across the city, it'll be in small increments per precinct. So we're looking at roughly 20 per precinct, and then we'll give that a go and be able to assess that after 60 or 90 days. And then we'll do another phase of 110 cameras. That'll get us roughly halfway. And then we'll do that a third and a fourth time, and our goal is to be fully implemented in 18 to 24 months. In most cases, they will hit the button and turn the camera on themselves and then turn it off at the end. But there are 2 instances where it will activate automatically. One is with a signal device that's attached to the holster. When the gun comes out of the holster, it sends a signal, and every camera within 30 feet will activate. The other one is the taser weapon, the electrical weapon. When that comes out of the holster, it'll do the same thing. That way officers aren't jeopardizing safety or cover, or they're putting themselves at risk for the sake of, oh, I've got to turn the camera on. If it's a police-related event, it will be recorded, provided the officer's wearing a camera. We've also asked officers that if it's safe and practical to do so, to let the citizen know, I am recording this event, because this is a behavioral tool that will work on both sides of the camera. If a citizen wants to get more information about our program, or body cameras in general, they can go to www.vbgov.com/police, and we'll have information like policy, frequently asked questions, vendor information, and the like.
I feel that now everyone's just brought together by everyone laughing and happy and all the people that live here.
I'm not sure who has more fun, us or the kids. It's a joint effort for sure.
It's Seatack's annual Play on the Bay Day. It is our highly anticipated end-of-year 5th grade event. The connection is that Westminster is one of our partners, and we have this event every year. The seniors come out, they work with our kids, they teach them games, and on this day we come out and we actually play the game with the seniors.
We really love any opportunity for intergenerational activities. So any chance to mentor or to kind of give back to the community, our residents really love that. That's really what they're passionate about, and they just have a wonderful time with the students every year.
I love the fact that a lot of things in here require teamwork and utilize the chance to bring everyone together in peace and harmony. It is a great way to take advantage of the opportunity to have fun and relax after SOLs and lots of stress that we have had because of our SOLs.
One of the things I think they recognize is how much the seniors mean in terms of coming to the school, showing them how to play ping pong and interacting with them. To be able to come now and be in that space and hang out with them where they live and where they stay, I think the kids just really embellish. They really enjoy this moment.
They love it. We felt like rock stars when we came in. Everybody was happy to see us. They were waving, cheering us on, so it's a great experience.
It helps keep us young, and hopefully it gives them an opportunity to interact with an older group. Maybe their grandparents, maybe they don't have any grandparents, and we kind of act as a surrogate, if you will, at least for a day.
It's a day for them to really learn some new things. It's a day for them to create some new friends. And it's a day for them to really take a deep breath again and just enjoy the moment.
Volunteer camp was something that we came up with because in rec services we were trying to think of camps that would meet the needs of what people were looking for, and as one of the volunteer resource managers at Kempsville, I was seeing a lot of people who wanted to do volunteer work but they were too young, and so it was trying to create a platform for them to learn the different resources to volunteer and set them up for success later.
Today we were picking up trash around the Virginia Beach Aquarium. It made me feel good to see all the trash in the bags and how clean the area was after we were done picking it up.
What surprised me the most is how much trash people litter. Like, it's just mind-blowing how much you can just find in this one parking lot.
Cigarette butt! More cigarette butts!
One of the things is that they're starting to realize that what they're getting back is a cleaner beach or a better place to go, or something that they can say, hey, I went home and I did this.
I liked how I made new friends and like how we get to give people something that most people will usually get to get.
This program, we got a group of volunteers, kids from the ages 7 to, I believe, 11. We brought them out to a wildlife refuge, and we go out, pick up trash, help different scenes to really, clean them up, help the environment.
I think that they don't really have an appreciation of what it takes to come visit the aquarium and what it takes to keep it clean, or go to the beach and what it means to have a clean beach. There are people that need things, and that they have such a great life and such a great community being part of Parks and Rec just on a day-to-day basis.
A lot of sea creatures wouldn't survive if it wasn't for us. And I think it is so good because we helped a bunch of sea creatures and birds survive.
So not only are we just focusing on trash and stuff like that, but we have multiple other activities that we get through. We knit hats for premature babies, and we do a food drive that's going to be really impacting at St. Mark's.
Today we are at the this Virginia Beach food pantry here at the church. Basically, we're just helping out with families in need. Basically, just putting foods in their carts just for hungry families. We've been helping out, sorting out like certain foods that we found from like other grocery stores. There's a lot of families out here in need.
If I had to sum up volunteering in one word, it would probably be impact. I believe that just one little effort to, impact the world is, something that can go beyond. And so I believe getting these kids together and putting them out here, it will show them that they can impact the world.
The mayor and the city council asked me to see if we could bring wounded, ill, and injured service members and their families down here to enjoy the benefits that the city of Virginia Beach has to offer. Outdoor recreational activities are an absolutely tremendous benefit for the wounded, ill, and injured. The word gets around, and now this year we'll be approaching 750 athletes and their families this year.
And I'm originally from Ohio, and I've been in the Army for 8 years.
I'm a retired U.S. Marine after 20 years of honorable service to this grateful nation.
So I had a lot of family members that were in the Army or Air Force. I had a grandpa that was in World War II. I had another grandpa in the Korean War. I had another grandpa that was actually in the Army Air Corps that transitioned into the actual Air Force when it first got its start. So I grew up with, that in my life. Obviously, September 11th played a big factor in it. I can still remember what class I was in. I was 8th grader, and my favorite teacher / basketball coach's class, and we were watching the news, and that really spoke to me, and if there's any doubt before, that kind of solidified it that I wanted to serve my country somehow, some way.
I was very active before. Grew up playing baseball, high school, Little League. Came into Marines, obviously we're very active. I medically retired after those 20 years. A lot of wounded, ill, and injured had visible and invisible wounds.
I mean, I have cancer, so it's incurable. I can't say I'll live for 5 years or 50 years, but while I still have the good health, like I've been lucky enough and fortunate enough to have, I'm still going to get out and enjoy life. So outlook on life, I'm positive. I still do things even though I'm medically retired and don't have a real job. I focus on trying to give back. I do a lot of things with the cancer community. I got lucky enough to meet some higher ups at the USO, and they were kind enough to invite me on their Warrior Week to Virginia Beach, where we're at now. So they had a list of different events, but they also had a chance to go skydiving. So I was at an airborne unit, so I used to jump out of airplanes for my job. I had 25 jumps while my time was in, and I loved doing it, get that adrenaline going. So having a chance to be able to do it again and relive those moments, I couldn't think of a better thing to do while I was on the trip. It was the number one thing I was looking forward to, just jumping out of a plane. I mean, who wants to jump out of a perfectly good airplane? Well, I do.
I ran the cycling evolution piece. On Friday, we did an area Virginia Beach ride. We cycle and train and are around ones that you'll see in a wheelchair because of paralysis. But they're not letting that stop, then they'll hand cycle. We combat that via adaptive sports and just sports and getting active. The endorphins your body creates just helps eliminate it. So Invictus came up about 2 years ago, and I hear, hey, we get to go compete and with other wounded, ill, and injured that we fought alongside. So I kept training. I liked the Invictus Games last year. I gold medaled at the DoD Warrior Games, and this year I was asked to submit times again. I was selected to be part of the USA Invictus teams, and this October we'll be in Sydney, Australia, competing against 17 other countries, hopefully bringing home some more gold.
I mean, it means a lot. I mean, it really does. I can't thank everyone enough. I'm really looking forward to the week. It's already been a blast, and we're not even halfway done yet.
It means a lot to me, not only for me as I have recovered from many injuries, and I watch others, and we bring others into the sports and bring bonding. So lots of families came.
You see men and women that have been physically wounded but also mentally wounded with PTSD, and to see the challenges that they overcome, it is extraordinarily motivating. There's moments throughout this week, almost continuously, that'll put a lump in your throat and just make you smile from ear to ear. People that might be feeling that have a loss of confidence and maybe not think what they can do. I can't do the same thing again. We prove to them that yes, you can do, and you can do it even better than you did before.
As we reflect on our beloved icons in our city, like the King Neptune statue or the heron sculpture on top of the town center fountain, they are imagery in Virginia Beach. They make us proud of our community. They help visitors remember this special place. They create memories, and they provide a great backdrop to a lot of selfies. It's been said that public art is a conversation with the public, revealing a place's or a people's history, values, and stories. Today, we celebrate people and collaboration. The people who dug a trench across the Lynnhaven centuries ago, who inspired the wildly talented Donald Lipsky to create the Canoes.
Their breathtaking sculpture showcases the rich history of the Lynnhaven Inlet, and it will become residents and visitors to the Bay Area for many years to come.
This is an iconic project here in Virginia Beach, and having an art fixture of this type here on the bridge, which signifies all of the different elements of Virginia Beach and the Lynnhaven Inlet as a historical spot in our city, it is important that we have something like this that recognizes our history.
1, 2, 3.
Well, I wanted to make something that was about what Virginia Beach is today, but also about your past. This plantation owner, Adam Keeling, who lived right by the mouth of the Lynnhaven in the 1600s, dug a trench so that he could get to the Chesapeake to fish. He dug a trench just wide enough for a canoe to get through. And then a big storm came out of the northeast and opened it up into the Lynnhaven Inlet the way it is today. So I thought a canoe was a great idea to base the sculpture around. My thought was that it'll really be a greeting for people. If you're coming in this way to Virginia Beach, this is one of the first things you see. We made all the canoes. They're actual canoes, but they're cut out by hand by a crew in Denver. The support structure was made by a crew in Houston. None of this had ever come together before. So Tuesday morning, trucks arrived with crates full of canoes and the pieces of the arch that had to be assembled. And we had maybe a dozen or 15 people out here working for a few days to take all of this and put it together. And it's just like an erector set, one piece at a time. You just put it together and then zoom, up in the air it goes, and that's a big thrill. This piece is built to last. It's going to be here hundreds of years, and so that's a responsibility. I hope when people see it, it just brings them joy. Albert Camus said, "Every authentic work of art is a gift to the future." And I hope this is that sort of gift.